Welcome back to Epistemics. Today I have a very special guest that's joining us on the show. It's none other than the infamous Ali Dawah.
I prefer to be called the Great Honourable.
The Honourable Great, yeah. I remember that from our last meeting.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I'm gonna. We'll discuss that.
For intention purposes.
We'll discuss that, bro. The Honourable. So, bro, let's get straight into this, bro.
Yeah.
What's going on with the marriage documentary? I thought I'd just put that out there, get that out the way.
Inshallah, our final date is Valentine's Day next year.
Yeah.
Reason being is because, you see, I don't just want to put a video out there, because I'm planning on making it 2 seasons of eight episodes in total.
Oh, it's like a
series.
serial.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a series, because it's
Mashallah.
some deep stuff in there, my personal life, etc. So the video's done. Part 1 is done. We're finishing kind of part 2, but I thought, okay, I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna put it out there. People will benefit, but it's like a hype you get. Go to a lecture, you get Imran boost, and it dies down. I'm preparing a practical way of finding someone the right way. So I'm preparing. It's a business model that I'm doing myself. Obviously, there'll be a side of it where people will have to pay. However, my main objective is there's elements which are free, which we want practical solution for youngsters to not make the mistakes I made. Because I went there. I've been there and I went through absolute hell. I went through absolute hell. And I don't want people to go through that. I don't want them to make the same mistakes I made. And marriage is a massive problem. Falling into zina, divorce is on an epidemic level. I'm speaking to people who are getting divorced and I'm trying to find out. I'm actually having a database of why did you get divorced? What went wrong? And I'm just seeing common traits. And I'm thinking, wow, it's simple mistakes. But reason being is because people are going and looking in marriage for the wrong things. So that's why, inshallah, Valentine's Day is the deadline, inshallah, and we've got some practical solutions.
And the reason I asked, bro, is because what I did was I put out a question on the community section of the YouTube channel, and loads of people asked about the marriage documentary, and I was thinking, subhanAllah, even on this channel, we're talking about atheism, we're talking about philosophy, we're talking about
having doubts about it.
They want the marriage documentary. I was like, okay, let's get that out of the way first. Okay,
it'll be worth it.
So it's coming, inshallah. Let's go into a discussion about Ali Dawah. Who is Ali Dawah? Where did Ali Dawah come from? Why did Ali Dawah get involved in the Dawah? Just briefly, bro, summarize for me your journey to Islam and your journey to the Dawah from Islam.
Okay, I would say, not Ali Dawah, my real name is Erdi.
Okay.
So you can say Erdi was a person who believed in God, who was lost, who used to get into gang fights. His dad took him outside London to change his life around. He went from one bad to another bad of, clubbing, girls, all that kind of stuff. So one bad influence to another. From there, he started to, think to himself, okay, I believe in a creator, but why am I here? Would God, if he exists, which I believe he does, would he just put me here without a purpose? How could everything around me have purposes? My socks have purpose. I have no purpose. So that was a enlightenment that I had in me. The fitra kind of sparked. And that's where I had a Bengali friend who used to live outside London where I used to live. And he showed me videos of Ahmed Dida, Zakir Naik, Abdul Rahim Green, Khalid Yasin. And I got really interested in it. And I used to read the Bible. I used to read the Quran. I used to look at various scriptures. And I had a lot of doubts. Why did the Prophet marry Aisha at 6? Why 4 wives? All this kind of stuff. But as I watched these videos, as a person in the crowd asking the same question, my doubts were being answered. So I rinsed out all the videos. I think even if you go on certain Ahmed Didat videos, you see me arguing. There, maybe 8 years ago. Yeah, it's in the comments where I would have a back and forth and I'm trying to argue. It's actually there. So from there, slowly, it took about 3.5 years. I realized, what, Islam is the only one that could be true. There's no other explanation. From there, my desires, I don't want to accept it. Then I thought, what, family, people that I know dying, cousin committed suicide, my neighbor committed suicide, my cousin's friend hanged himself in a park. So I was thinking, this could, what if I die? I just said, look, I have to accept Islam. Accepted Islam, had beautiful brothers, brother Imran, that used to be with me, Allah bless him, inshallah. We have a little differences, but alhamdulillah, he's still my brother. Him, Musa, Ustad Adnan Rashid, Ahira. I can remember once I was on the phone to Ustad Hamza and Sabur. They won a TV show. I wasn't even in the Dawah scene. I rang in. I think they were talking about something. And then I joined the Ramadan campaign that we're doing every day in a different place. I joined you guys, if you remember. So from there, Musa's house, Ali Dawah was made. Not in China. It was made in in Musa's house, inshallah.
But let me pause you there before you go on. I think I want to touch upon one point you just made. You said you went through a period of self-discovery. You were questioning the purpose of life. Who am I? Why am I? Now, I went through something similar. I want to know, and this seems to be quite common amongst people, especially in the times that we live in. Many youth, non-Muslim youth, individuals in their late teens, early 20s, are going through these type of existential questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What's my purpose? You went through this as well. Right? Now, what did you try? Where did you look for answers? You said you read the Bible, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you tried seeking answers in? Or was it something you just ignored and just carried on with life for a while until you just couldn't take it anymore?
No, the thing is, you see, even like Brad Pitt recently, he left like the atheism movement. Like you see people, because it's just materialistic things, and we are a spiritual people. You know, we have emotion, we have feelings. So the thing is, it's that when you have that question, because you need to understand, we sometimes what we do is we connect our happiness to things that are materialistic. And what happens is whenever you attach your heart to something, and this is a major point that I'm making in my marriage documentary, that whenever you attach your heart to something that's materialistic and your whole happiness is based on that little thing and you're focusing on it consciously and subconsciously, when that thing goes, your happiness leaves with it. In life, when I used to live, what was it, going gym, looking hench, looking good for the girls, I need to be that alpha male and all that kind of stuff. And once you reach there, or the aims that you have, you think, like, is that it? I was watching a very interesting interview with Tyson Fury. Yeah. And he said that his main goal was to beat, what's that Russian guy's name? I can't pronounce the name, I'm sorry. No offense. Yeah, Klitschko or something like that. Yeah. He goes, he beat Klitschko, and then he was in the change room and his dad came to him and said, what now? He said, depression now.
Wow.
And why did he say depression now? Because his whole aim and objective and goal and focus was what? Beat Klitschko. You beat Klitschko. Okay, what next? Emptiness. Yeah. So people go through this emptiness where they're thinking to themselves, okay, I've reached this money. Okay, brother, I knew people in my jahiliyyah, the richest guy, handsome, girls, houses, crying like, wallahi, no offense, like a dog.
By the way, when you use Arabic terms, please clarify them. I know I made mistakes. What did I say? So you said jahiliyyah.
Jahiliyyah, okay, ignorance.
Said, wallahi.
Wallahi, I swear upon Allah.
Right.
Yeah, okay, so forgive me, yeah. So I would see him crying and I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to be like you and you're crying. And I was like, yo, hold on a second. Because it just made sense to me. I was a sheep to my society. I would go uni. Obviously, I liked uni as well. But why? So I can come home, have a picture with a cap on and my family can say, mashallah. And I'm left with the 30 grand debt. Yeah. Why would I? Who am I living for? That's the crisis that I had. And I said, nah, man, there has to be a greater purpose. Yeah. Is this it to my life? What's the difference between me and a chocolate bar? It's made of atoms, I'm made of atoms. Yeah, maybe I'm emotional. I can cry sometimes and the chocolate bar melts. You know, maybe we share that. but other than that, what else is there? Yeah. You know?
So what you're basically highlighting is that we, as human beings, we're purpose driven.
Yes.
But whenever we, and again, I can completely relate to this, bro, because I went through something similar. Whenever we try finding the purpose in this material existence, you would chase things, you would fulfill them, you would get them, and then you'll still be left empty afterwards. Yes. So that should show us what you're saying. Here's what I get from you. What you're saying is that should show us or point to us that that is not your actual purpose. Exactly. Because it hasn't fulfilled you.
Exactly. Because why? Because your dreams are finite. Yeah. Our dreams should be infinite. Why? When I mean infinite, hereafter, a greater purpose. Because when you have dreams that are finite, you're always going to hit the wall. Bang. Okay, what next? Bang. Okay, what next? Yeah. You know, you have to give yourself an inner purpose, and that's still not going to fulfill you. Your goals, objectives have to be greater. You know.
Brilliant, bro. I think that really. So look, on that point, bro. Before we move on, say there's people watching this show. They say there's some atheists, or just regular people looking into the purpose of life. Yeah. They have listened to you. They're relating with you right now. What practical tips can you give them? 1 or 2 tips, which if they find themselves in the position you found yourself in, what could they do? Which direction should they go in? Because already when it comes to Islam, there's a lot of misconceptions, lots of false information. What should they do, these people?
Okay, so you're saying when they have this emptiness?
Yeah, say they're in that position. They're going through depression, anxiety. They're looking for the purpose of life. They can't find it. They've tried loads of things. Nothing's working. What do they do now?
I'll be honest, man. It's going to sound very cliche, but like I said before, it's the only answer out there. Because nothing, like I said to you before, anything that you tie your happiness to, Aki, it's going to leave you. I'm telling you.
What does Aki mean, bro?
Brother. Thank you. Please remind me. No, please do catch me out, yeah? Because you're not going to catch me out anymore. Brother, yeah? So whatever it is that you're tying your happiness to, it's going to never make you happy. So therefore, you need to understand you have a greater purpose, yeah? Be the best of yourself. How do you find your inner self? Firstly, that you need to understand that you have to wholeheartedly accept the truth. Because what we see with a lot of people is that they tend to dress up their beliefs or what they want in the religion that they want or the spirituality, whatever it may be. And what that does is it shows that you're not being true to yourself. Because to me, if I believe in a religion, I believe it's from God Almighty. If that religion says to me, every Friday I will climb a high tree, sit there for 30 minutes, have an apple, come down, do 10 press-ups and go back up, I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you might, as long as it's the truth, we're not saying blind faith, like believe whatever you like. No, we're saying as long as you've done the research, you have asked God Almighty, you can see the clear evidences in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Put your ego aside. Once you say, oh, God Almighty, if you're there, this is what I did, Aki. Oh Allah, if you're there, please guide me to the truth. Whatever it is, I'll accept it. Mm-hmm. Christianity, I'm accepting Christianity, bro. Simple as I don't care what anybody. If the whole entire world comes in front of me, I don't care, because once you have belief, and when I mean belief, I'm not talking about blind belief, because a lot of our Christian friends comes and say, oh, I had a dream or a vision, and we say, look, that's anyone can say. I can say Islam changed my life. A Christian will come, you have Satan worshippers say, no, I've become a better person. It doesn't mean it's the truth. You know, we're talking about see the evidences for yourself. You know what I'm saying? The Quran, the Quran's miracles, prophecies, etc., etc. Once you've accepted that, don't say, because a lot of people hold back and be like, Islam, you know, it's hard, man, 5 times a day. What you're doing is you're not being true to yourself. What you're saying is, oh man, that goes against my desires. So that means find the inner truth with yourself. Get rid of the diseases of the heart, and then inshallah you will see that whatever the truth is, your heart is ready to accept it. Otherwise you're just going to say, oh no man, I can't do that. When I first came to Islam, I couldn't fajr. I said
so what was that one thing, bro? What was that thing that brought you, that said that moment where you said, this is the truth?
Bro, like for me, like for example, there was a variety of reasons. So I said, look, if there's any scripture that I'm going to accept, if it's going to be the Bible or the Old Testament or the Quran or the Hindu Vedas, whatever, it should not be tampered by men. That's my condition, because I said it's the word of God. If it's the word of God, God himself should preserve it. The basic thing that I can logically, rationally deduce is that he should protect it. So that was what I was looking for. Once that's done, then that means that book has come. Then I say, okay, now I accept that book. Now from there, I would want to know, now because it's preserved, doesn't mean it's from God. Do you get it? It's preserved and it claims it's from God. Okay, where's the evidences? The verse in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that indeed, if this was not from your Lord, you would find many discrepancies and contradictions. Or another verse which said that bring a chapter like it. Bro, that blew me away. I was like, look at the, imagine I come in and say, I'm a boxer, I'll knock out anybody. Yeah? Sorry, I know it's a bit of a violent example.
You're known for your somewhat violent. Musa called you out for a violent example as well.
Yes. I have to stop that, because our organisation Salam stands for sharing affection, love and mercy. So imagine if I say that and then I go and boom, 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 and you're going to say, wow, this guy, what he's saying, he's actually showing me the living proof. So obviously don't do that. You can try throwing flowers. With me, it's that I was mind blown. And when I was seeing it and I'm thinking, I'm trying to challenge it now. Okay, let me find mistakes. Oh, I got a mistake. Oh, it's answered. That was eventually increasing my faith and my iman. Do you get it? So I was putting a challenge to the Quran, and the Quran was every time just bang, bang, bang. And I was like, yo,
you know, bro, that's amazing, because currently I'm in the process of writing a book. And I'm sharing my journey through that book as well. But what's very interesting is I was recently, the section I'm writing is to do with this section of what convinced me this was the truth. And it almost exactly, and we've known each other for like what, close to 8-9 years now, bro, probably. SubhanAllah. And I never knew this about you, but I went through almost exactly the same thing. For me, it wasn't rational, logical proofs. It was the Quran engaging with me and answering my questions and when I adopted whatever the Quran said, it would literally change my being, my state. It would affect me. It would change my whole existence, right? And that was the greatest miracle from that perspective, right?
And that's what Aisha Anha says. The Prophet ﷺ was a walking, talking Quran. That's what the Quran does to you. You open your heart to it. It will change. Honestly and truthfully, the Quran will come in there and sort out the mess. You know, some people say, once I'm ready, I'll start praying Salah. No, brother, you pray Salah and that changes you. Once I'm ready, I'll read the Quran. Brother, you read the Quran, the Quran changes you. Look at the mentality. Oh, I change myself. You can't change yourself. You need help. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. I respond to the caller that calls upon me. And he doesn't say Muslim. The caller that calls upon me.
Yes, absolutely. You know? And so it's like what
that part of your book, can you give me credit, please? Because we share the same story.
Of course, bro.
Okay, fine.
Definitely. I'll probably get you to review it as well, definitely. But here's the thing, what I think on that point is very interesting what you just said. The Quran, it's like God is showing you the path, but it's upon you to walk upon it. It's for you to now make that journey.
That's what
you're not gonna get dragged, because God is not in need of you. He's free of need.
Exactly. Right? That's what I say to a lot of people. I say, look, ask God for help. Say, oh Allah, God, if you're there, guide me to the truth. God is gonna send you signs. It's upon you to accept or deny it.
Excellent, bro. Jazakallah. So let's move on, bro. You become Muslim. You start practicing. Now I know that initially when I met you, we're talking 8-9 years ago. You weren't.
I think I was Muslim about nearly 7 years. So I think maybe it was about 6 years.
Probably 6 years ago. If I'm not mistaken, because I remember meeting you first time. I remember seeing you.
Yeah.
It was in Speaker's Corner.
Yes.
Now, you were just dabbling at the time, right? Meaning, when I say dabbling, I mean you were just in and out. You were observing. You weren't engaging. You were just listening and watching. You took some time before you actually got engaged and involved in direct dawah yourself.
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Because I used to watch like a lot of people from the park on YouTube, and then I thought, let me go check this place out. So I went there. Obviously, with me, I have to you need to analyze, what's this place about? You're learning. You're very new to it, Mm-hmm. So that's why it's very important. People who attend the park, there's pros and cons to it. Alhamdulillah, the pros outweigh the cons. But
we'll talk about that, bro. We'll discuss that. Let's not take your word for it. We'll talk about it.
So I just wanted to go and hear what people are saying, where they're coming from, common arguments that's coming up, how are Muslims answering. I wanted to learn. I'll be honest with you. Even today, when I go to the park on Sundays, I like to listen, man. People think I go there I'm being honest with you. I prefer to go and just listen to a discussion. Like, hear that person's side, and I've changed a lot and nurtured myself, like Sheikh Abu Safia, my teacher, Ustad Hamza Zortes, and you guys played a massive role. I've nurtured myself into, it's not just about, like, people are not robots. They're not work with algorithms.
Absolutely, yeah.
And this is one criticism that I have. Maybe we can come to later.
Yes.
Or if you want, I can go for it now.
Yeah, it's your show, bro. Do what you like.
Yeah, I think what's happening in the Dawah scene, alhamdulillah, it's brilliant stuff happening, alhamdulillah, like we've got Muhammad Hijab, mashallah, is doing amazing debates, discussions, Ustad Hamza Zortes, yourself, Sabur, these, like my teacher, etc. You guys are people that I look up to. I genuinely, love you guys for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah preserve you guys. Wallah, you guys mean so much to me, and the work that you're doing, because it's helped me, and Dawah helps me. People don't understand, when I do Dawah, wallahi, it protects me from sins. That's really important. But one thing that I see is that sometimes we treat people like robots, like an algorithm. We think, okay, I've done an argument, the contingency argument, or the kalam cosmological argument, or I've come from the fine-tuning argument, and then you want a person to accept, and when he doesn't, you start going, look at this arrogant guy. You're arrogant. I will say to myself, I'm arrogant. Because if I think that, for example, obviously, depends from person to person. Do you get it? Sometimes you do have people who actually, you can show them the truth. But sometimes you see people are emotional, man. All of us are emotional. Not all of us. Maybe logical. Maybe something you've gone through, like Ustad Hamza Zortes said. Maybe the guy needs just a pizza, man.
Yeah.
Maybe he just needs you to take him out, say, look, man, talk to me. What's up? Let's just have you know what? Why do we have to have a debate and discussion? How are you doing today? And that's something I try to implement within myself. When I go to the park, there's people that I differ with, I have debates and discussions with. Obviously, as long as they're not hate preachers, But those that come and say, how you doing, man? You okay? Yeah. And I saw that a positive vibe is being built. That sometimes when I go to the park, they're, hey, Ali, how you doing? And I thought, subhanAllah, that's so wonderful, man. And people come and say, Ali, we see positive changes in you, etc. And I try to implement that. I think the Dawah is more than our logical arguments. We need to connect with people. Okay, wallahi, the Prophet ﷺ said, I came for nothing but to perfect good character. You can speak all you like. People look and say, look, let me see the Islam that you're talking about, the oneness of God. Can I see that in your actions? No.
But that's, again, you hit a very important point, bro, because even in the Dawah training courses that we cover, one of the things that we like to get across, exactly what you're saying, which is, look, at the end of the day, what you say is important, but how you deliver it is as important, bro, because you are essentially the delivery mechanism, right? A very interesting story a Sheikh once shared with me, and I'll share it with you, which he said, look, there was a simple village guy, and he went to the doctor, right? He had a really bad pain in his ear. The doctor checked his ear. He had an ear infection, okay? So the doctor, obviously, if you have an infection, what does he prescribe you? Antibiotics. How good you know that, bro. But so he gave him antibiotics, and he took the antibiotics, but the doctor saw he's a simple guy. Let me explain this to him. He said, look, take this 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening for 7 days, you'll be fine. Now the guy goes away, comes back the next day. He said, doctor, the pain's getting worse, right? So the doctor goes, okay, he didn't understand what I was saying. Let me explain to him again. Look, take this for another 6 days, morning, afternoon, evening, and you'll be fine. The guy goes away. Guess what he does the next day? Comes back. Says, doctor, the pain's getting worse. He repeats this twice more. Now, by day 4, the doctor's thinking, hold on a second. He's taking antibiotics. They should be working by now, right? 4 days, you should notice some change. If anything, but he's getting worse. What's going on?
Special case.
What's going on? Special case. So the doctor said, okay, let me check your ear. He looked inside his ear. Guess what he found?
Spider.
No, he found the antibiotics stuffed inside his ear. Moral of the story being, bro, which is, the moral being, the medicine is only effective if you administer it properly.
Yes.
Right? Antibiotics are supposed to be consumed orally, right? If you don't eat them, bro, and you stuff them in your ear, they're going to do more damage, And that's exactly the point, bro. You, as a person carrying the message of Islam, you are that delivery mechanism. If you are not on point, Your message, you're going to do injustice to.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
So what you said, Jazakallah khair, which means...
yeah, and you'll be responsible. As you think, oh, I got shahada, yes, I'm going to get rewarded. But what about, how many people, have you ever thought to yourself, how many people have you caused to move away from Islam?
Yeah.
Have you, that's funny, we big ourselves up, we go, oh, I got so many shahadas, you know, I'm the shahada machine. Yeah, good. How many people have you made caused to leave Islam? Have you ever thought of that?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about your akhlaq, your behavior, your character, with people that said, you know what, bro, Islam might be the truth, but like I'm looking at this guy, like what on earth is he doing in Islam? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Bro, there's probably people watching this show right now, because there's loads of atheists that watch this program.
Yes.
There's probably people watching the show right now, atheists, who have come across YouTube videos from Speaker's Corner, and they've been looking into the bigger questions of life, and they've seen Muslims engaging, and in many cases they've seen quite aggressive engagements.
Yes.
And they probably just look at the character of the Muslim.
Yeah.
And based on that, they say, you know what, this ain't for me. Yes. Whatever he's on, it's not for me.
100%.
Now, that takes me on to the next point I want to talk to you about, bro, is that whole point about benefits and the pros and cons, if you like, of the dawah in Speaker's Corner.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this is it's somewhat of a subjective discussion, right?
Yes.
There'll be people that fall on both sides.
Yes.
Some people say that it's more negative, some say that's more positives. Generally, would you acknowledge, bro, that there is an issue underlying there, which is that Muslims, generally speaking, are not adopting what you're saying, which is good characteristics and good mannerisms in conveying the message there?
Yes, 100%. Look, the thing is, what happens is, look, there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
I believe generally the pros outweigh, because it's globally watched. Yeah. And a lot of the times people, they hear the arguments, etc. Muslims, Iman, they want to hear it. You know, they use these arguments and apply it in their dawah as well. It's good, you know. But what we forget is that, yes, you're empowering the Muslims, etc. But is that going to come at the cost of, okay, you're preserving, what was it my Sheikh said? You're preserving the capital. No, that was another. Don't worry, I got it confused. But it's important that, for example, while you're doing that, you're preserving the Muslims, you're losing like newcomers. Yeah. So now there has to be balance. When you go into the Speaker's Corner, you see it's like Transformers. You transform. You know, it's like a robot. You transform. I'm in Speaker's Corner now. Yeah. Algorithm.
Superman.
Superman. Superman. Yeah. The thing is that what I've realized as Salam, our organization, the reason why we called it sharing affection, love, and mercy, is that because we want to change that, man. We really want to change that. Our philosophy, you can say, is let people see Islam. Let not people hear Islam. Let people see Islam in our actions. And this is one of the biggest things that is lacking. And a lot of brothers in the park, because they come across people that are arrogant or have an ego, wherever it may be, what they do is they transform into the catering for that person.
To meet them on their level, basically.
On their level. Now, Allah says in the Quran, repel evil with good. Sometimes, okay, you need to repel evil with evil sometimes, obviously, but the best is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us. But like, for example, like a person like David Wood, he needs somebody like hijab. Like hijab transformed quite well.
Well, here's the thing on that point, but I think is sorry about cutting you, because I think what you're saying is important. So there may be a certain time where you have to adopt a certain approach in speaking to someone, right? But that's not the norm. Right?
Yes, you have to make that. See, that's why when hijab was having that discussion, before the debate, for example, he knew. We said to him, and he knows himself, that he even said it on when he was having the debate. He said, he's not James White.
Yes.
If he was James, he made that clarification. We said, make that very clear. Because this person is somebody that mocks the deen, lies about the Prophet, insults him, dresses up like a woman, and does all this kind of stuff. So this guy deserves that treatment.
Absolutely.
So I believe anybody coming and saying to hijab he was arrogant, I totally disagree. Hijab done a beautiful job there. It served its purpose.
There's Christians that look at the what's his name? David Wood.
I call him Rotten Wood usually.
Bro, honestly, I would say he's worse in many ways. Because it's unfortunate that here's an individual that's supposedly following the Christian tradition, yet comes across in such a nasty and derogatory way towards human beings. And I think there's Christians out there that recognize this and actually.
Like James White.
Exactly, bro. And they don't consider him,
of course, they've rebuked him.
Any authority from that perspective.
They've rebuked him for that.
But I think another point to clarify here is, bro, the issue that happens is someone maybe saw hijab, and it's good that he clarified that if it was James White, etc. Someone may see a debate like that, or another debate in Speaker's Corner, where the Muslim is a bit more there should be no excuse for having bad manners and bad traits. Obviously, at times you can come across more assertive and more forceful, but still maintaining good characters and manners.
Very true.
Now, but unfortunately, that doesn't happen in some cases.
Sadly, yes.
But what ends up happening sometimes is some young Muslim brother or sister is watching this debate online, and they think, okay, they take the points, but they also take the characteristics and they apply it to John down the road, right? Which is a problem in and of itself.
That's exactly
right?
what I was about to say.
So how do you try counter this? What do you do personally to try counter?
That's what I was going to say. You know, that's why when I said, for example, when you're dealing with a specific person that's arrogant, and you're talking to them in that manner, what Speaker's Corner does is because it's a routine. Because you see, I've been watching some videos on the subconscious mind, because subconsciously what you're doing is you're programming yourself. Every Sunday you're going there and you're talking to this person. What's happening now is that you're carrying that. Not only forget Dawah, you're taking that home. Yeah. You're with the wife and you start dropping some arguments. Yo, what's your premise? Your premise is wrong. And what the hell are you talking about? Do you get it? It causes problem everywhere. So that's the reason why you have to have a detox.
Yes.
You have to say to yourself, okay, calm down. Sometimes I'll see a genuine person and I look at the Prophet and the Prophet, I'm like, look, man, you're not speaking to David Wood. Like, it really hurts me. I'm like, you're actually ruining what you're doing. Like, being frustrated. Look, let it be. Sometimes we need to understand this causes damage. This arrogant behavior, look, the Dawah is bigger than your ego. It's bigger than your ego. If you feel like, oh, they offended me and I need to put them in their place, you have some problems in your head. You know? And sometimes, look, I'll fall for that. But the thing is, spot the weaknesses and try to work on it. I try my best to, sometimes I was having a discussion with one lady, and I was speaking to her. Before that, her friend came who was insulting the Prophet, literally insulting the Prophet. And I didn't drop to her level. I just turned my back to her. Yeah? And she went on a mad one. After I did, talk to her, and kind of put her in a place, I'm sorry, because she was insulting the Prophet, she went. Her friend came. Her friend was more softer and polite. She wanted to know. Now, what I did is I thought, okay, they're together. And I started a bit raggo. And then through it, I can even show you the video. And then I stopped and I said, madam, can you give me a second? She said, yeah. I said, I'm sorry. She said, right. I just said, along those lines. I said, sorry, I had to detox in the moment because I had to just, okay, this is not her. Ali, come back to your senses. This is somebody maybe genuinely want to know. I had to, transform myself because what happens is you can get caught up easily. Subconscious mind can say to you, oh, no. This was a person. And it was sad because she said that her dad abused her. And that hurt me. And I thought to myself, subhanAllah, imagine if I came there and no, you're going to make it worse. So it's important, man.
And I've seen this transformation in you as well, bro, over the years. I've watched some of your stuff, even your recent Salam Corner stuff. And I've got to commend you, bro, that you have changed your approach a lot. What you just said there is something very powerful, because what you're saying is you have to have the emotional intelligence, you have to have the wisdom, you have to have the sincerity to deal with each person individually. And even in many cases, the people that come and insult the Prophet or insult Islam, they're ignorant people. They don't realize by doing so, they're actually behaving worse towards us than insulting our own mother.
Exactly.
So sometimes they need to just, like you said, turn away or try to inform them.
And that's what I did. I literally turned my back against her, and she found that so offending. But I just thought the best thing that I could do.
She was there to get a reaction out of you anyway.
Exactly, and that's what they want. And we need to understand emotional intelligence and wisdom is key. It's aki, wallahi, I cannot stress enough to you. Because you see people who come, they think they have a knowledge. They have this knowledge, Like, okay, I've got a pen, I know how to write. No, you don't. Do you know how to use that pen? Just because you have the tool doesn't mean you know how to apply the tool. So this is what people do. People have become robots, with algorithms once again. Information, blah, blah, fill it, and yes, okay, I know. No, brother, you need to connect with people. So we had this lady who came, she's a Tommy Robinson fan, etc. And she said she's scared of Islam and Muslims and the grooming issue that's happening, etc. Now the thing is, I couldn't say, Tommy Robinson fan, racist, Islamophobe, put all the labels on it, bang, and then do what? Give Dawah to my judgment, not her. Like Ustad Hamza's daughter says. So what I did is, and like I was talking about, for example, arrogance. There's one arrogance that I'm the best, etc. And there's another one is called humble arrogance. So for example, if you're in a khutbah, there's no one to lead the khutbah. Now you can have two options. Either you're going to say, you know what, I can lead the khutbah, or you're going to stay back and let somebody maybe misguided lead the khutbah. This doesn't make you arrogant. Humble arrogance is somebody coming and saying, you're so great, and you're like, no, I'm not. Like, come on, man, let's get out of this. If you're good at something, just say I'm good at it. There's no problem. That doesn't make you arrogant. I've changed, alhamdulillah, inshallah, for the better. And I tried to apply that to her. We had a nice discussion, and wallahi, I think it was one of the best discussions I had. So nice, so heart to heart, smiling, giggling, joking, and wallahi, I truly believe that woman left there. And you know what she said to me? She goes, I don't mind having you as a neighbor. And the thing is, the perception that she had was Muslims, grooming gang. And, you know, she had this misconception. It says in the Quran that you can rape and kill Christians and Jews. I said, no, it doesn't mean that. I went to the verse, explained that it's talking about highway robbers, etc. What happened at the Prophet ﷺ's time. And wallahi, it was so beautiful. Her husband was there. You know, you can see engagement. And it was absolutely amazing. And if there's anything that I could say, like all the dawah, I can say that was inshallah, genuine discussion that I had. Somebody left with saying, you know what? Okay, you know, even if they don't accept Islam, there was an Egyptian scholar. He asked Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen or Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan, and he said, what advice would you give me in my dawah? He said, number one, may Allah make you beneficial to the people. He made that dua. He said, number two, when you're giving dawah, if the person opposite you doesn't accept it,
inviting someone to Islam.
Inviting people to Islam. Yeah, you caught me. Okay, it's just my.
I'll let you off a few times as well. I'm sure they're going to put in the comments. Put in the comments each time Ali slips up and says uses an Arabism that explaining the English.
To keep the guard up. What was I saying? Yeah, he said to him, when you're giving dawah, inviting people to Islam, if the person doesn't accept your message, at least leave them neutral.
Yeah.
Don't make them an enemy.
Yes.
Leave the person neutral. Oh, you're arrogant. You're this. You're that. Calling their names. Oh, mashallah, beautiful. What an amazing dawah you gave.
Yeah. But absolutely, you know, I think I wanted to cover some other things, but I'm going to skip some things because I think what we're talking about right now is very, very important, which is this genuine concern for humanity that the Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us. And the Prophets applied when they conveyed the message. They were genuinely concerned about the people. They referred to the people as, oh, my people, right? Yeah. Not in any derogatory way when they were sharing and conveying the message to them. You know, one of the most powerful deleels or evidences for me from the Quran, bro, in regards to this is the story of Musa and Pharaoh. Moses and Pharaoh, when God is sending Moses to Pharaoh and he says to him, speak to him with soft and gentle speech. That's a very interesting scenario here because you have God speaking to a prophet who's obviously one of the best of creation. And when he's telling him to go to Pharaoh, who obviously is one of the worst of creation, he's telling him to be soft and gentle. So if God is telling one of the best of people to be soft and gentle towards one of the worst, then how should we be towards the people in our societies? None of us are the equivalent of Moses, and we can easily argue most people out there today are not as bad as Pharaoh, right? So there's no excuse, you know, foundationally, as be nice and gentle and soft in your approach. Because what's the objective, bro? We are genuinely there to try and win the hearts and minds of people so we can save them in this life and the next life. That's the objective, that people worship their Lord. Not that we come across as authoritative or that we come across as knowledgeable or that we get an ego boost and we feel good about ourselves. Bro, I've made these mistakes. You've made these mistakes. We all have. Hamza's made these mistakes, right? We have all been there and made those mistakes and we've learned. And I think the message you're sharing right now, apologies. I think the message you're sharing right now, bro, if the youth, the Muslim youth that follow you, and bro, you've got one of the biggest, may God bless you and make it means for your a great reward for you, that the Muslim youth and there's those that follow you, that they are going to leave with a very powerful message today, which is to have wisdom and balance and good manners and good characteristics
100%.
In your da'wah.
100%.
If you can't control yourself, if you can't maintain yourself, I would even say don't come to the
park.
Don't do the da'wah.
Don't come.
Park or outside, right?
Yeah, okay. Well, don't come. You know, just go. Well, I tell some of them, be at home, serve your mom and dad or whatever. Well, you get more reward than coming and causing damage. Don't come, brother, if you can't control your emotions.
Absolutely. So, bro, let's move on. Yeah, I think it's a good point to segue into another point I want to talk about, bro, which is now. You corrected me earlier, not 8 or 9 years. I thought I knew you for much longer here, but 6-7 years I've known you, bro. One thing I've noticed about you, which I haven't noticed about, generally speaking, in the dawah scene amongst du'at, is that, and I've seen this a lot amongst the atheists online, right? Which is that they are extremely consistent. Right? When it comes to putting out content, when it comes to engaging with their audiences, when it comes to doing their work of propagation, right? Whether it be the high-level atheists, such as, or not high-level, but the atheists that are at the top of the pack, like Richard Dawkins or Sam Harris, or it be the YouTubers such as, you know, I don't want to name them, but you know what I'm talking about. But when it comes to the Muslim dawah scene, right? And when I'm talking about the dawah scene, I'm specifically referring to the sort of direct dawah, right? And I think that's clear enough to mention what I mean there, which is you're engaging and you're sharing the message of Islam directly with people. There is not much consistency. I haven't been consistent for one, right? I just stopped for many years, right? You know, many other brothers that I know haven't had that consistency. You, bro, may God bless you. You have remained consistent. That's one thing I've learned from you, which is consistency. What is it that keeps you going consistently, bro?
Okay, I would say obviously not directly, but obviously I would say it's Brother Smile to Jannah, alhamdulillah. He's been quite active as well, mashallah.
Brother Zishan,
Yeah, Zishan, love him for the sake of Allah. May Allah bless him, inshallah.
I mean,
Now, personally, when we're talking about direct dawah,
Yeah.
with me, number one, I have to be honest that, like I said before, it helps me to stay away from sins.
okay.
I have to be selfish.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I have to save myself first. Yeah. Now, being in dawah, it gives me a focus. Yeah. But most importantly to me, I have this thing inside me which I cannot control. When I see wrong, when I see oppression, when I see injustice, and when I see just someone being wrong, and I feel like, you know what, like if I was there, I would have done this. I can't hold that in. So anytime an issue comes, I'm being honest, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like a bit of a headache in the context of, I wish, like that's why when Brother Muhammad Hijab came to the scene, alhamdulillah, he's a good brother, mashallah, he's got a lot of improvements to himself to do, you know, etc. But the thing is, when he came into the scene, it was a breath of fresh air. I was like, yes, bro, finally someone, because it's hard, man. It's hard, you know, when you have, alhamdulillah, somebody who can come and tackle another angle.
What does alhamdulillah mean?
Alhamdulillah, all, you know, all praises belong to Allah, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it means. Yeah.
Allah is
Allah. Sorry?
Allah.
Oh, Allah. Oh, sorry.
You explained half of it and then you use another Arabism to explain an Arabism.
Allah,
Come on, bro.
the true
trying to
God.
fool me, bro?
The true God. Allah, the true God. Yes.
Okay, brilliant.
So the thing is, when he came to the scene, alhamdulillah, it was a breath of fresh air. So when I see certain things happening, so for example, when I would see the far right, Tommy Robinson, Britain First, Lawrence Southern, Avi Yemeni, these figureheads, it was bothering me because I was looking at Britain First and they were going and picking on innocent Muslims. And I really, I was like, I really wanted to do something, So now some people think, you know, I did it for clout, maybe on there.
You know what, bro? Saying that, just stopping you there. You obviously have your critics too,
Yes.
And having critics isn't a bad thing because, you know, we're brothers and sisters in Islam.
It's my
and
critics that help me where I am
exactly,
today.
we're there to help and give each other constructive criticism.
Yes.
But there are those individuals that turn around and say, well, you know, you're an opportunist, right? You jump on anything that comes up. Anything that happens, Ali just fires off. He doesn't stop, he doesn't think about it, he just bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
What would you have to say in response to that?
I would say personally, like I said before, it goes back to I'm passionate about it. Okay. So for example, when the Christchurch attack happened, you need to understand that bothers me, that hurts me. So now, like Ibn Taymiyyah said, like for example, some people are like flies. They don't. I'm not talking about those who give me constructive criticism. I'm talking about those who actually think evil. Ibn Taymiyyah said some people are like flies. They never land in good places. They always land in bad places. Why? Because they never see any good in people. Now, when I did that video, like any other video that I do, you need to understand, in your head, the person opposite you, he's thinking, he might be thinking like himself. So, for example, if I'm a thief and you say to me, can you hold on to this? Or for example, if I'm a thief and I say to you, can you look after this? I'll never do that because I'm a thief and I think you're going to steal it. I think everybody's like me. So what happens is some people think that the way their mentality is, I would have done it for this reason, therefore he's doing it for that reason. So, brother, I would say it's a reflection of what you're thinking of yourself. Do you get it? Now, do I come across that sometimes? Yes. So let's not put everyone into that category that they're evil and no.
Because obviously you've acknowledged that sometimes in your past you've jumped into things you shouldn't have jumped into, right?
I have, but I try to consult my teachers. Before I release a video, I'll say, look, I always make sure I'm in a group, like a WhatsApp group, and I'll say, look, what do you think? Was it right? Should I release it? Like recently, I've been invited to Australia for a debate, an actual debate that I've never done. I'm not comfortable. I've said, look, I'm not sure. You know, I can't. They're like, you speak as corner. I'm like, but I've never done a control. Like, it's just not my comfort zone. Maybe I can do it, But the thing is, we need to understand and say, look, at the end of the day, this is people's iman. I can't just be like, debate, everyone. You know, everyone's on the debate scene. Man needs to jump on it. The brothers are convincing me, look, no, you can calm. And I said, look, it might be a possibility that it might happen, but there's going to be conditions in place. But the thing is, we don't want to be jumping opportunities like, you know, everyone's, debates, okay. No, brother, this is people's iman. You can't, if I know I can't do a good job, we've got beautiful brothers doing an amazing job. Carry on. I'm not going to jump into the scene. But again, I do take it as a sign from Allah to maybe come out my comfort zone. Maybe it's a sign, I don't know. You know, even the brother said, he said, look, Ali, you need to come out of your comfort zone. And even he came through, another brother came to me and I said, nah. He contacted me himself directly. So I'm looking, I'm going to do istikhara and see, you know, I'm going to consult with Ustad Hamza's daughters, my teachers, and see how it works. So the videos that I do that people think I jump onto, wallahi, it bothers me. It's hard. You know how long it takes me to do a video? Edit it. Sound problem. Do you know how long it takes? Some videos take 8 hours. do you think I've got nothing better to do and think, you know when sometimes it happens, well, I get annoyed.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's an obligation on me, yeah, that I have to do, and I get annoyed. I'm like, here we go again. Like, I haven't got time, man. But then you're thinking, if you don't say nothing, it's like, like they say, like, in the Quran, Allah tells us about Banu Israel, yeah, Banu Israel. They were told not to fish in the Sabbath.
Yeah.
The ones that did got destroyed. The ones that didn't got saved. And the scholars say there was a third group who watched and said nothing. They were destroyed with the first group. So we need to understand that if I have a platform, I have some kind of obligation. So I have to do it. And believe me, it's painful. It takes my time. It takes a lot of my time. But I do it. And recently I took off a bit of a break. I took a bit of a break in the context of those videos. You would see even Brother Zishan was like, bro, what's happening with you? You know, he used to be up with the current affairs. I said, bro, zone out, time out, yeah? And I would just do the Salam kind of videos. And why now? Alhamdulillah, with the help of the people who believed in Salam, we've got an editor, etc. Alhamdulillah. So I'm like, whoo,
I was going to ask you what you just said there. How do you, because look, you've got, like you said, you it's a big responsibility. Right? There's people that are waiting to see what Ali has to say about something, right? How do you de-stress? How do you get that? I'm sure it weighs down on you heavy as well. What are the few things that you do to really keep yourself in check, to sort of unwind, remove that pressure off yourself sometimes? Because to keep going for 6 years plus, non-stop, and it's difficult, it's not easy, right? How have you, because there has to be an element where you have been de-stressing yourself, taking a break, doing something for yourself, which is keeping you
grounded,
sane basically, so you keep going. So what is it? What is it that works for you, bro?
Like, personally, bro, it's just sometimes you just need to take a step back. Like, your salah,
what does salah and adhkar mean, brother?
I was going to, you stop me.
You've been too many jabs today.
If you didn't stop me, I would.
That was a right hook and an uppercut right there.
Salah is a prayer. Adhkar is a dua, a prayer.
It's like a remembrance.
It's a remembrance thing that you do to protect you from, forces, outside forces, and internal forces, and human forces. It's there to protect you, inshallah. That's fundamental and key. And sometimes you just have to really, just take time out, etc. Chill with friends. I'm a person that little things make me happy. I'm not a person like I need, just little things make me happy, inshallah. I don't ask for much in life. I expect, my philosophy in life is expect the least and make dua for the best. So I do that. But one of the things that would bother me a lot is my intentions. That would be really on my mind. Why should I do this for this reason? And that's something that's really bothering me. And I think sometimes when I overthink, it really gets to me because I just get scared. So the way I've combated and dealt with that in a certain way, and a lot of people can inshallah benefit from this, is that what I've done is I've nullified all my dawah. Like the outer dawah that I do, I've nullified it. So what I've done is I said, look, this is something that I'm going to do, but I'm not going to stand in front of Allah and say I've done dawah. I'm going to say that is something I don't know. One day is against me, one day is for me. I don't know what's going on. So that's why I'm not going to stop doing it, because I've consulted my teacher at the point where I said I'm going to stop the dawah. I said I'm going to.
Why?
Because I said internally I don't know.
How long ago was this? A few years ago?
No, I'll say about a year ago.
Okay. So you almost gave up?
No, almost no, because I said, look, I don't know, man. I don't know my intentions, and certain things were going wrong, etc. And I just said, and alhamdulillah, Allah, answered my dua. And I spoke to my teacher and said, this is from shaitan, yeah? So I said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to nullify the dawah that I do. I'm going to concentrate on my private deeds. Yeah?
So you keep trying to make your intention still. Obviously on top of it, but you're still saying, okay, I'm not going to focus on. Meaning you're going to basically you're motivating yourself to do more private deeds. Just to balance things out for yourself.
Exactly, and it helps my intentions to know that my intentions to do dawah. Like when I say, okay, I don't know my outer dawah in the public. I don't know if that's accepted. So instead of battling every day, I don't know, am I right? Should I do it? Should I not do it? Am I simple? Don't accept it. Meaning, okay, what that did was it helped my intentions, because that meant is that Ali, any dawah video that you're doing, you're not seeing that as a good deed in the context of you can't trust that. That can be for or against you. So what that done is that helped me and be like, okay, the subconscious mind, I made it like, okay, fixed it in a habit that, okay, now that stress is off me, because now I'm not relying on it. I'm not scared, because I can say, oh Allah, I don't trust that. Don't here. I've got a few private deeds. Oh Allah, if this intentions were right, because it was only you knew and I knew, accept that. And that helped me a lot.
Okay, brilliant, bro. Let's move on and wrap up, bro. A few last things, right?
Yes.
First of the last questions. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
10 years.
Inshallah, if God gives
inshallah.
you, we
Inshallah.
pray that God gives you a long, healthy life.
Inshallah.
Where do you
this
see
is good
yourself
for
in
us.
the Dawah, in somewhere else?
What? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe this.
What's your vision?
My vision, you know what it is, bro. I wanna like Salam, our organization. I want to establish it. Alhamdulillah. So we've got some positive things coming our way. Alhamdulillah, I want to establish that, make that a sadaqah jari, inshallah, for myself and everyone that's involved as well. But in the long run, what I'm preparing with the marriage documentary, that's something on the long run where I'm hitting a specific market because I've realized zina, divorce. What to look in for marriage is it's crazy, bro. It's absolutely madness. If you knew the stuff that I went through and the stuff that I hear. So what I'm planning to doing is I'm trying to go down the route of you can say maybe mentoring or coaching people into the marriage process.
Okay.
So that's the avenue that I'm planning taking, and I'm coming at it with 2 uppercuts, and actually with my feet as well. And I'm preparing something big, inshallah, yeah? I'm not going to get too much into detail, but I'm going down that route because I saw a massive problem. I lived it myself. I'm not coming with theory. I'm not coming with exams I passed, not with a degree. I'm coming with real life example of blood, sweat and tears. So I'm coming down that route, inshallah. That's where I see myself, because the family unit is very key in Islam, and to preserve that is fundamental. So I've always been known, Musa always says, why are you so obsessed with zina? I know it sounds so wrong, but he's trying to say basically.
What's zina, brother?
Zina is having illegal.
You're not learning, are you, Ali? You're not learning, bro. We've gone through the whole show and you still
having sex before marriage, yeah.
Okay.
So obsessed in the context of
intercourse
always
before
talking
marriage,
about,
yeah. Let's keep it a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, so it's because I've seen the damages. I've lost people in my life, etc. So it's very close to my heart. And I've seen the damages it done, man. I've done psychologically, mentally, how it's broken people down.
Yeah.
So I've just want to help people and not make the mistakes I make. And maybe you never know. Maybe the debate in Australia, maybe it might be a new start of nice debates and discussions, dialoguing. Maybe I'm just going to see and observe it. It'll be my first time. Let's see. We haven't confirmed anything yet. I'm going to consult with my teachers. But if it does happen, maybe we might go down that route. We might have fruitful discussions, or maybe I'll see and say, you know what, this is not for me actually.
Yeah. Brilliant, bro. So just to conclude, bro. What I want you to do now, just last 2 things, is I want you to first speak to any of the atheists that may come across this and watch this. Yeah. They may have seen your stuff before. Yeah. They may have had certain conceptions about Ali Dawah before, but maybe after watching this, they see, okay, there's more to this guy. Yeah. What message would you give them, firstly? Yeah. And also the same for the Muslim youth. What one message would you give them? So you can look them right in the eyes.
Yeah.
And,
are you guys ready?
Okay, ready, bro.
They might be sisters, so I'm going to have to lower my gaze. Look, what I would say is this. That, like I said before at the beginning, is to be true to yourself. Look, atheism, science, or whatever you can call it, it's had this boost, this pump, it's like a fashion. It was like a fashion, I'll be honest with you. It's a fashion, and what's happened now, it had this peak, and now it's plummeting. And Brad Pitt and many people have acknowledged that. And what happens is tend to, I think it was Malcolm X who said, or Martin Luther, I'm not sure. He said that if you do not stand up for something, you will fall for anything. And that's what's happening, is that we jump on the bandwagon. Oh, atheism. Yeah, I want to be cool. People in the Muslim countries are falling for this, Yeah, I'm an atheist. Evolution. Okay, what do you know about evolution? I don't know. Do you see how insecure you are? Because what it means is that you've just jumped in on the bandwagon. What sounds cool? Let's jump on it. And this is a trend with a lot of young people. And what happens is that backfires sometimes. So be true to yourself. Me personally, look, in my jahiliyyah, I've had my friends who did alcohol, who did drugs, who did all kinds of stuff. I didn't go near that stuff. Because sometimes you just have to say, you know what, principles. I have principles. I stick to those principles. And I try to apply that principle in my life of ignorance. Jahiliyyah means ignorance. And even when my marriage search and in my dawah, I have principles. I stick to that principles. And I try to be true to myself and believe and try to love my own self. Because when one doesn't love his self, then how could he give love to others? Or even see what love is. Because when you don't know what love is within yourself, then when somebody shows you love, because you can't interpret it within your own self, the person that's showing you love, you can't interpret it as well. So what happens is, brothers and sisters, is that you fall for this thing of trying to be popular, yes, I'm an atheist, etc. Be true to yourself. Very simple. Be true to yourself. Don't jump on everything. And once you're true to yourself, Allah will guide. Allah says we do not guide the wrongdoing people. Yeah? So be true to yourself, inshallah. And I'm repeating that again. Be true to yourself. It's very, very important. And then seek the truth and the truth will have somewhere to enter, inshallah. But if you, like I said before, are, just chasing clout and trying to be cool, this, that, it just shows a weakness. Stand up for something and you won't fall for anything.